What's going on, you guys? It is Taylor. This is EV Electric. I'm highly caffeinated right now. I have to just throw that out there. Today we're going to get into things to know when tinting your Tesla Model 3. Cue the intro. Let's go. Boom! All right, so there's a couple things you guys need to know when tinting your Model 3, and there's some things you need to look out for as well, and then there's some things that you guys are gonna have to accept and move on and enjoy it. First of all, I'd highly recommend tinting your your Tesla Model 3, and it's important to tint it for yourself and to protect the car. So tint is mostly for yourself, but it's also to protect the car. And first things first, I would always recommend for you guys to tint the windshield, whether that's a very light tint or you can go a little darker and push it. You might risk a ticket depending on your state, but I did a fairly light tint on my windshield, and that is by far the best part of my car in general. Tinting the windshield, definitely go for it. Now, there's a couple precautions you want to take though when tinting your windshield. You guys need to make sure the person knows what they're doing when tinting your car. They really need to put soak ropes on your glass around your dashboard right there, because if water falls into your dashboard, it drips onto the brain of your computer, and you'll have to bring your car, your brick, to Tesla, and they'll have to replace that. And if you're caught that being damaged because of tint, you're done. For example, my car, I did 50%. If an officer were to pull me over, he'd probably know I have tint on my windshield, which is a ding on my end. But I'd highly recommend you guys go at least 70 on your windshield. And that's gonna be a perfect amount of a little bit of tint, but mostly for that heat rejection and just a little bit ease on the eyes over everything. All right, let's move on to number 2. So this one is mostly for the white interior, but the dark interior definitely applies to this one. And this mostly counts for the 2 front side windows. And this is, the darker you go, the more your dashboard is going to reflect onto your mirrors and you won't be able to see. You guys know I've complained about this one plenty of times. In the white interior, the default glass is already annoying with that mirror there. I have limo tint on my sides and it is absolutely horrendous. I have to roll my window down occasionally so I can be safe and see what's going on in my mirrors. Now, this also does apply for the wood dashboard as well. It's not as crazy as the white, but it really shines on there as well. So if you guys are annoyed by that, definitely go a lighter tint. If you're annoyed by that, I definitely recommend going 40 and above, 40% and above. Number 3, you guys are gonna have this issue possibly, and it's tough and annoying, but it's really hard. So think how big your back window glass is. It's huge. It's by far the biggest glass almost on any car, the Model X being the first, but this glass is so big, and you guys can see there's the heat strips in the back window. That is really hard to tint. You're gonna have a couple things there. You guys might see bubbles or air in your back window, and generally it runs along those little heat lines there for the heated back window. And this is something that you need to understand on the tinter's perspective. Tinting those back windows mostly on your own is extremely hard. And it's a huge amount of material that one person has to handle in the tightest spot in the back of your car going like this. So you guys need to realize that there might be a couple bubbles back there. Generally, they're not too bad, but they'll mostly hang out by those heat strips that run all along the window. Hopefully they can fix it. But this is something that I've noticed that I'd say about 60% of the cars have. So if you guys see a couple dots in your back window, I honestly would just say, I'm gonna live with it. Let me just take my car, because for the most part, the tinter did an awesome job. And that's just something you guys might have to expect from that. Now keep in mind, you can get it perfect, but I want you guys to think on the tinter's perspective. All you tinters are gonna appreciate that. Okay, and now the fourth one is kind of a interesting one here, and this one is about tinting your sunroof. It's already pigmented, it's already UV protected. Do you tint it or not? Well, so far I have not tinted it, and I don't have too big of an issue up there on the top of my head, and I don't have too much of a heat issue when I hold my hand up there. The joy about tint is you can always come back and get another panel later. So I have not done that yet, and from my experience and from my pale skin, I've done just fine without that sunroof tinted. Now, if you guys get a deal where if you do all glass on the car, that sunroof is cheaper, I'd say go for it. But for the most part, I would say from my personal experience, you do not need to tint that sunroof. And I'm in Southern California, and it's gotten pretty hot here. And yeah, I've gone through a good experience with not tinting the sunroof. So I would say hold off. You don't need to pay for it. Although if you really feel like paying for it, go ahead. And this is the final thing, number 5 here. This is just a general one. These cars are so new, and a lot of shops do not have guys that tint Model 3s very well. And what I mean by that is they're very hard cars to tint. You guys heard about some of the stuff. The front window, the back window is really hard. And you guys want to get someone who can do it right the first time and not either mess up your car, like the computer, or mess up that back window very hard. So my final thing here is go to someone that is already known for Model 3s who can do them very well. It's kind of easy though, because most shops are already picking up on this, and most shops already know how to tint Model 3s, and most of their guys have already gone past that guinea pig period where their tinters are learning Model 3s. So, yeah, and just give these guys some credit. These are extremely hard windows to tint. The Model 3 is an extremely hard car. Don't even get me started with the X windshield, but very, very hard cars. So you guys want to make sure that these people know what they're doing and they can get the job done fast. But if they ask for time, more time, give it to them. They'd really appreciate it, because the Model 3 is a very, very tough car to deal with. I hope you guys got it down, what you need to know before you tinted your Model 3. Not much, honestly. So let's recap a little bit. You just want to make sure the guys know what they're doing at the end of the day. And most of these shops are going to know what they're doing, or they're just going to straight up deny you. Most common issue you'll hear from these guys if they don't know how to tint the 3 is they'll say, oh, it messes up the autopilot. We don't want to have to recalibrate it. Now, if you tint it right, you don't have to even deal with that. And that is it. All right, you guys, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Keep it real. Stay electrified.